Welcome back. Now, in South Sudan, rapper Luol Da'wal is using his music to speak out against a government with a reputation for silencing dissent. Jason Pattinkin reports from Juba.
For South Sudanese rapper Luol Da'wal, music can be an act of political defiance. He took the stage at this nightclub in Juba the day after soldiers stormed another venue to stop his performance. On another occasion, his fans had to smuggle him out the back to avoid arrest. It is part of the struggle for hip-hop artists in this tightly controlled country.
Hip-hop is a type of music where you pass messages and talk about the suffering of the people and be the voice of the voiceless, basically. And I feel like South Sudan, there's a lot of people who are voiceless. There's a lot of injustice, a lot of unfairness.
Luol is one of South Sudan's most popular rappers. Raised in the United States, Luol returned to what was then southern Sudan in 2009 in hope of helping the country grow. South Sudan got its independence 2 years later, but has known little besides war, poverty, and corruption since. Luol's lyrics push the boundaries of free speech in a country where perceived government critics have been jailed, beaten, or killed. The government banned one of Luol's most popular songs from radio stations. Dola Jadid means new nation. In it, Luol criticizes local officials who he says always reply, "We are a new nation," as an excuse for the lack of basic services. Luol says he received death threats after releasing that song.
It's just people trying to rattle me, trying to scare me, and trying to get me to sing things that make no sense or talk about falseness and fake things that are not really happening, clubbing and what, but that's not the reality in South Sudan.
Luol says he now wants to use his music to preach unity. South Sudan is emerging from 2.5 years of civil war that has divided the country by tribe. Luol is working on a new album, collaborating with producers and singers from the country's various ethnicities.
Music brings people together, and that's what we need right now. This time of peace and reconciliation, we need to unify and have that nationhood, that love for South Sudan, you know, because we're all South Sudanese at the end of the day.
And if authorities try to stop Luol from spreading his new message,
I just have to be myself. I can't change for any intimidation or any fear, because you only live once, and I cannot live like a coward.
Despite the harassment, Luol is one South Sudanese citizen who has not given up on building his nation. Jason Patsinkin for VOA News, Juba.
From the musical to the visual arts now, Revolving Currents is an exhibition by 2 artists in Lagos who use their different styles to address issues such as climate change, education, and domestic violence. Rakib Bashonru and Chika Idu are pushing for change using the power of their paintings and sculptures.
They come from different worlds.
Basically, I work with the idea of power of number. I look at the Nigerian situation, a country with over 150 million people, and I'm like, we have these resources that we need to harness, and that is our population in moving the country. You know, it's like you have many people that are walking on the streets out there that are not doing anything. If you can get those people together and get them engaged in doing certain things, I believe the country probably will begin to move forward. You know, and I'm looking at putting Nigeria on a comparative scale with a country like China, which has been able to harness its population to move that country to where the country is today in terms of political, economical, and social, growth.
The developed countries, it is not like there's anything magic about what they do, all right? It is just as a result of the information they passed on their children, and the children grew with it. So Nigeria has to do the same. We need to come up with a plan and say, this is where we need to go, and everybody has to work towards achieving that goal. Right now, we are not passing enough positive information to our children. If we abuse our children, we are passing information without really passing information. If we allow our children to live and exist in an unconducive environment, we are passing information to them without knowing or thinking that we are passing information.
Rakib Basharun is a sculptor with a passion for using recycled materials to create his works of art.
I don't think there's anything out there that is really a waste. It depends on who is looking at the material. And today, the world itself is going green. The world is recycling. They recycle virtually everything. They recycle paper, they recycle wood, they recycle plastic, they recycle aluminum, they recycle metal, So it's just one of those materials that we need to recycle. And I actually started using this particular medium at a point in time when the Lagos State government did some road construction, and before you knew it, people started dumping all sort of trash, in the drainage. And I'm like, this thing they're dropping in the drainage could actually be reused, and be given new lease of life.
While Chika Idu, who still has age on his side, is mad about painting. But despite the diverse ways they approach their art, that does not stop them from joining forces to present Evolving Current at Wheatbaker, Lagos.
We have a lot of water dredging going on in our waters in Lagos. And I feel these dredgers are very uncontrolled. And as a result of this, they have damaged our seabeds. I have tried extensively to see if I could see like water plants, sea anemones and the rest of them, but we don't have them anymore, they are gone. If you look at the bottom of the waters, right, in the rivers, in the lagoons, what you're going to see is mainly refuse under the water, nylons or brown sand, but you hardly see plants living underwater anymore. So I think there should be, we have gotten to the point where we need to shout, where we need to make some noise so that we can do something about the problems that our waterways are currently facing.
There is art of all shapes and sizes done in various media, considering the background of those being exhibited. This exhibition also tries to bridge a generation gap by bringing an old and young mind together.
Well, and that's a show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on the VOA website at voaafrica.com. And keep up with all the latest world news at the same time. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Over to you, Cynthia, for the last word on our show.
Well, thanks, Vincent. We look forward to another show next week. But in the meantime, our channel's website, channelstv.com, has all our news and program information anytime, day or night. I'm Cynthia Are. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.